Hello all and welcome. We had SummerSlam. We're going to talk a little bit about SummerSlam. But before we do that, I'm going to go on a rant. And it's not going to be about WWE. Oh no. Oh no. This is different. Most of you are going to not want to hear this. And I really don't give a shit. This has to do with ROH. So, yesterday, well, I guess 2 days ago, by the time most of you see this, Saturday, ROH put on a show that hopefully will be up soon. Filled full of good stuff, it seemed like. Most of the people that I know that went to this said the show was, excellent, and well, not excellent, but was a show worth seeing. There was definitely stuff on there to see. However, there was one little thing that really upset me, and these shows that happen in New York City. This is one of the things that we often that we get. There's a difference. There's a difference, people, when you go to shows of trying to get a match over and trying to get yourselves over. During Michael Elgin, who is, you would think would be popular within the Ring of Honor fan base, and Carl Anderson, who's coming over from New Japan, who just before he did this match with Ring of Honor had said that he would like to bring over and that he thinks that they would like to come, being Tanahashi and Nakamura, over to Ring of Honor and put on, some shows or a show maybe, and see what they can do. So what do these fans do? Basically, if you saw SummerSlam and you saw what happened during the Divas match, that's what the fans did during Michael Elgin and Carl Anderson. Now, both of those guys, if you follow their Twitter, both basically said they had fun with it, and so they weren't that upset about it. My point is, these are the fans that bitch and whine and complain that they don't get the matches that they think they deserve, but then they pull this bullshit. Ricky Marvin, who I have wanted to be come to the United States and be, in a Ring of Honor match for years, is finally coming. And thank God he's not going to be in front of these stupid New York fans. And I understand it's not all of them. I understand that for the most part, it's only a few of them. But apparently on this show, there was enough of them that it pretty much just fucked everything up. And one of my friends that usually goes to this, when Carl Anderson came during WrestleMania weekend, he said that most of these people had no clue who Carl Anderson was, which is pretty freaking sad. People at this show said kind of the same thing, that they understood who the Forever Hooligans were, kind of, but they really didn't understand who they were, and they weren't as over as you would expect, and that they would probably be over elsewhere outside of New York. That's crap. And this is the thing. These fans, these New York fans, they crap on guys that, well, unless it's someone that is the new hotness, they crap on it. If it's somebody from WWE, they crap on it. If it's somebody who they don't think is worthy of their time, they crap on it. And if that's the way they're going to be, I know Ring of Honor is going to do Final Battle in New York. I understand, completely get it. If the same shit happens on that show, they need to stop running New York as frequently. I'm not going to say just all together, but as frequently. Maybe only run it 2, maybe 3 times a year. Honestly, maybe not even that. Maybe once or twice a year, and be done with it. You want to do big shows? Do shows in Toronto. Do shows in Chicago, and that be where you do your big shows, because those crowds are 1,000 times better. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much. Now let's talk about SummerSlam, which was tonight, and was I would say, a great show, mainly due to this was going in. Everyone knew this was a 2-match show. Ended up being a 2-match show, with the exception of Christian and Del Rio. Everything else was okay, for the most part, with the opener, the Ring of Fire match, being not very good. I don't understand why they booked this match. And here's why. To me, if you're going to, as my phone goes off, if you're going to book this match, the idea should have been that, Bray Wyatt's guys sitting outside and not doing anything until finally they decide to go through the fire for Bray Wyatt to get even more instilled that these guys are nuts and that maybe this is some sort of cult thing and that he has some sort of weird powers over them and all of this thing. That to me would have been better. Maybe that was the original idea and then they got to it and the guys weren't comfortable doing it or whatever, but the way that they went through the fire was pretty craptastic. So yeah, not good. Everything else on the card was okay. Really not much to talk about. Other than we got the Miz and Fandango segments, which got old kind of fast. But we did get CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar, and they did an amazing job during this match of making it believable that CM Punk could beat Brock Lesnar. It was a very, very physical match. It was probably the, well, without a doubt, in my opinion, the best Brock Lesnar match we've seen. I thought was better. You know, this was more of what I think the Triple H matches should have been, and Brock Lesnar went over. I find it sucky that, you know, the one guy that Brock Lesnar actually goes over is CM Punk, but that's okay, because he should have gone over. I think he should go over, you know, 80% of the time. Brock should go over guys. I do. I think that way you keep him special. That way you keep him, you know, as the monster. Though they did a good job of building him up as a monster during, you know, this build-up. So Panther is that. But the match was great. You know, my opinion of this match and the main event were probably the two best mainstream wrestling matches, if you want to say that, or WWE matches at least. Probably TNA as well. I haven't seen enough TNA, but I would think this would be probably better than that too. Of the year, without question. I mean, that match was excellent. It really was. And the kind of the bullshit stuff was the only thing I didn't like about it, but I understood why it was there because, you know, you had to let, you know, Paul Heyman had to get his comeuppance during this match in some way, so that's what happened. I was fine with that. The chair stuff did get kind of after a while, and you know, the no DQ thing did kind of, you know, but match was great and awesome, and Hatch and even Shawn Michaels, they were doing some, like, you know, it's basically the pregame thing, and they were talking to the guys, and Shawn Michaels, you know, gave them a shout out saying that match was pretty much awesome. Then we had the main event, Daniel Bryan versus John Cena. Very much talked about main event. As Instant Classic said, if you've already seen his video, when he did his video, basically said he pretty much knew how this was going to go. He thought, me too. Unlike him, I really wasn't fooled. I was just waiting for it, and waiting for it, because I have no faith in the WWE whatsoever. What little faith I had with the Shield, and now they're eroding that away as well. But we will get to that. Match was awesome. And before the match, all I had asked for is this be a great match. They let them go out there. They let Daniel Bryan show what he can do. That's what they did. I would question if CM Punk and Daniel Bryan were basically kind of in their own way sending a message, because I think maybe they got tired of everyone, you know, saying how great New Japan is and that there's no way WWE would ever be able to, you know, top them. I think both guys went out there with the intention of having matches that could either compete or top those. It didn't top them, but I definitely would say they were as good as anything you would see from New Japan. And it was good stuff, without question. Just this match was great. Lots of great counters. Cena busted out a couple of new things. Luckily, he didn't try the Cena Rana. That was good. But we definitely saw some new things from Daniel Bryan. The finish came kind of weird because he hit him with a knee strike, and that was it. Instead of even hitting him with the kick to the head, or, you know, something else if they didn't want Cena tapping. So that was kind of that. Especially after they had built up the fact that his elbow was all messed up. You would think that they would let him tap even with the elbow, or have Triple H stop the match, or something along those lines. But that's not what happened. So it came out of nowhere, so it kind of was flat, even though the crowd, I think, was hotter. I mean, the crowd was super hot for this match. They wanted Daniel Bryan to win so bad. It was not funny. And he won, and everyone went crazy, and everyone went nuts, and they even had a celebration. They made it seem like a big deal, and that was good thing, even with what happened with Orton cashing in the money in the bank and Triple H and all that. It was important to make it look like a big deal because it needed to look like a big deal. It didn't look like, oh, he beat John Cena and then he lost to Orton and that's it. It can't be that way. And Triple H, of course, pedigree Daniel Bryan, and then Orton cashed in, and that was all she wrote. Hopefully tomorrow, and I know a lot of people are upset because they feel like, oh my god, Daniel Bryan's won, and then all of this. And if you follow me on Twitter, you probably heard me already say this. Tomorrow is key, or tonight. Raw is key, basically. And if they keep Daniel Bryan strong, they make him look strong, then that's a good thing. What I'm scared they're going to do, because they have a bad tendency to do this, particularly when you're involving things with Triple H and the McMahons, that the face, the baby face, comes off looking very weak, and the heels come off looking very strong, and so the baby faces look like complete dorks, and you don't give two shits about them. And hopefully they don't do this. Daniel Bryan basically, this sort of rise to success, a lot of it, by no means, it has everything to do with him. When he was given, the world title as a joke, he did everything, which was apparently the idea. It was just kind of like an offshoot, and he did amazing with it. And then, we had the Sheamus thing at WrestleMania, and luckily you had the right crowd at the right time. After WrestleMania, you had the after WrestleMania crowd, and they let the WWE have it because of that match. And that was probably the eye-opener, and you've seen him get hotter and hotter and hotter, and now, he's without a doubt maybe the third hottest thing in the WWE behind, Cena and Punk, and that says something. I think it feels good being a guy who, back in 2008, 2009, 2010, was saying that Daniel Bryan could go to the WWE and could hang with these guys and could, main event, and seeing him do that, it is. I think anyone from, that followed him, I think just feels great about that. And hopefully the WWE doesn't screw it up. Hopefully WWE does the right thing. Like I said, he has to come off stronger than Orton. And if they don't do that, and if they don't give him the chance to do that, let me put it that way, then this is, every other WWE horrible angle when it's time to make a new star and they completely fail type of thing. So, but if you haven't seen the show, definitely watch it. Like I said, it's really a two-match show. If you throw in Alberto Del Rio and Christian, that's a good match. I wouldn't call it a great match. I wouldn't say it's even a must-see match. It's just a good match. Everything else on the show is, completely skippable. But those two matches are awesome. There's no doubt about that. So, with that, I'm out. Have a good one. Later.